In the Asuom Amanfrom community in the eastern region, the people are predominantly farmers and extract palm oil. The community, with a population of about 500, is under the Kwaebibrem District Assembly. Even though it is a small community, Asuom Amanfrom is endowed with commodities like cocoa, palm plantations, maize farms and other food crops. The languages spoken here are Kwaebibrem, Achim and Gadangme. It is a 5-hour journey from Accra to the community. I was enjoying the ride until the unexpected scene caught my attention. I observed that the road was pretty bad from Asamankase through to Kede to Asuom. It was a rather bumpy and dusty ride. All travelers have to buckle up for safety. The thought that immediately came to mind was how pregnant women fare on that route, given the discomfort. I was almost discouraged at the sight of the dusty road, but my desire to get to know the community made me soldier on to my destination. Upon arrival, I only saw a small town surrounded by a thick forest. My host then told me the forest I see is a reserve known as the Sukoko Reserve, one of the biggest in the capital. The only public amenity in the community is this school, which is inadequately furnished. The school has a student population of 150 with only 6 teaching staff. I was told that because there are not enough teachers, the school runs a multi-grade system, which means 2 classes will be taught by 1 teacher in the classroom. The teachers say this makes teaching difficult. The only teachers' quarters in sight was this dilapidated structure. I am told this was Asuom Amanfrom teachers' headquarters, and as you can see, it has collapsed. And I have with me here the headmaster of Asuom Amanfrom LA Basic Schools.
You can observe that it's a mud building, and it was constructed about 30 years ago or more. And due to its nature, it had got dilapidated, and it fell one day when it rained heavily. So as at now, there's nobody living in it. It is made up of 4 single rooms. So you can see the other part, which consists of 2 rooms, is still there. And that is where the headmaster is living as at now. That is the reason why no teacher is living here.
Teachers have no choice but to rent or find accommodation in the next town. This means they have to travel for about 1 hour every day to teach.
Most of the teachers, they are staying at the school before we come to school. And at times, inconveniences, we don't come to school early. If we get teachers' quarters here, we can stay here so that we come to school early and at times to regular. Okay. Another challenge that is facing us is that we have realized that the children are not learning. They don't know much in education, so they don't have anybody to emulate.
Right behind the collapsed teachers' quarters is the headmaster's room and a kitchen.
And this is the kitchen.
Oh, okay. The teachers say education is not really considered a priority in Asuom Amanfrom. It is common for students to forget whatever was taught immediately they get home.
On the part of the children, nothing is there to motivate them. They don't have the exposure. So sometimes they think when they complete school, what they have to do is farming. Sometimes to face this teenage pregnancy during the rainy season, you find a lot of problems. Sometimes you have to fall, wake up, go to school, your whole dress is swelled. Still, we go. Last 2 years, one of the teachers got accident on the road and he had their leg broken. Because of that, he has been transferred.
I interacted with Mary Tay. She is the school prefect of Asuom DA Basic School. She couldn't speak English. She preferred for the interaction to be in one of the local languages.
How are you preparing for the exam, final exam? Are you learning? Okay.
I want to come out with flying colors after my BECE. This will enable me to achieve my dream of becoming a nurse.
With the above conversation, it is evident that a lot is needed in terms of education. Mr. Daniel Kwejo Ejiri is the headmaster of Asuom Amanfrom District Assembly School.
The basic challenge is accommodation for the staff. In fact, almost all the staff members are living at Asuom. So they commute from Asuom to this place every morning. And when it rains, it becomes a challenge because looking at the nature of the road, when it rains, coming and going becomes difficult. And for that matter, it is only few people who accept posting to this area. We don't have any computer in the school. And even when teachers want to teach ICT, they need to bring their own laptop to the classroom to use it for demonstration.
Asuom Amanfrom has no potable water, no library, no market, and even a hospital. Residents here travel miles on motorbikes to the next 2 towns to see a doctor. Pregnant women in labor are the hardest hit. They sometimes lose their babies. One such person is Madam Gifty Donko, who is pregnant.
We have to rely on Okada drivers to transport women in labor to the clinic. We need a clinic.
Nana Laje Kabite is the queen mother of Asuom Amanfrom. She says land has been allocated for a clinic in Amanfrom, but access to funds is a challenge.
Government decided to build a hospital for us, but that did not materialize. We travel 5 miles on Okada with the pregnant women to the clinic.
The only form of transportation from Asamankase to Asuom Amanfrom is by motorbike, popularly known as Okada, or by tricycle, also known as pragia. When I inquired, I was told that the bad nature of the roads has deterred drivers from plying that stretch. In the event of an emergency, the patient has no choice than to rely on an Okada to get to the health facility. But these Okada riders are not stationed in Asuom Amanfrom. Residents have their phone numbers and call them.
Daniel is a carpenter here in Asuom Amanfrom, and he has this to say.
Our roads are bad. We have forest reserve, plantations, cocoa and others. If these roads are tarred, the place will become an industrial hub.
While I was commuting around the town to gather more facts for my story, an interesting spectacle arrested my attention. Residents' way of food crop preservation. Crop preservation is done on top of a kitchen.
This is where they store their corn or maize, and it's on top of their kitchen. They don't have any storage facility.
The community has no telecommunication network reception here. This bench here is the best spot to get reception.
As you can see, this is someone's phone. The person has placed it here. There's no network here in Asuom Amanfrom. So now the person brought the phone here in order to get network. So when the phone rings, then the person will rush from wherever he or she is to pick up the phone to receive the call.
I observed that residents here are very industrious. They have established mini palm oil extraction companies here which supply neighboring towns and even the cities with palm oil. Every processing company has about 20 or 30 people working here. Madame Regina manages one of the mini processing plants.
We first boil the palm nuts in this tank. When it's cooked, we pour it into the machine to extract the oil in its crude form and process it further to get the finished product.
She tells me the types of palm oil they produce.
We have two types of palm oil, the one that is used for soap making, pomade and other things. The other is for cooking.
I was told that most of these mini palm oil processing units have collapsed or are no longer in operation due to inadequate capital. Machines used to produce the palm oil here are powered by diesel. Operators say a chunk of the profit is spent on fuel and maintenance. The youth are also actively involved in the palm oil business. One such person is Bernard Asariusu, who is currently a student at the Betifi College. He tells me some of his challenges.
We are faced with the issue of theft. People steal the finished products. Customers do not come on daily basis. This slows the work.
A pleasant surprise was the fact that all the machines used to process the palm oil were manufactured in the town. Each machine is sold for 8,000 Ghana cedis. They also manufacture fufu pounding machines and coal pots, among others. All too soon, my journey to Asuom Amanfrom came to an end. On my way back to Accra, I played back my time in this side of the country. It was a wake-up call that life is not all about the city lights and the flashy things we see. The peaceful and happy scenes of children walking to school barefoot, teachers falling off an Okada because of the unmotorable roads, and pregnant women losing their babies will live with me for a very long time. The people of Asuom Amanfrom say, regardless of these challenges, there is still life and therefore there is hope. Beatrice Senaju, GBC 24, Asuom Amanfrom.